How's it going, everybody? Robbie One Kenobi here, and I am live bringing you my WWE SummerSlam 2017 predictions video. Of course, SummerSlam 2017 is live this Sunday night on the WWE Network. And overall, guys, going into this show, I am looking forward to watching it, but I'm not as excited for this year's SummerSlam as I have been for the past two SummerSlams. You know, I feel like 2015 when SummerSlam first went to Brooklyn, and it was 4 hours. I was excited because I just wanted to see if WWE would do something different, something special, and that show was pretty solid for the most part. Last year's show was quite a stacked card. It was the first SummerSlam since the brand split, and it was a better show than 2015, but it still wasn't a good show. Well, it was a good show. I mean, I just feel like they didn't utilize the time right. You know, I don't know if SummerSlam needs to be 4 hours. Like, I get it's part of the big four, and that's probably why they're extending it to 4 hours. But I just don't feel like SummerSlam needs to be, like, we'll see. There are a lot of matches on the main card. So that's why I think maybe 4 hours is going to suit this show this year. But, like, just the card quality itself, there are some matches I'm looking forward to. There are some matches that I wish were different, and then there are some matches that I just don't care about. So let's get right down to my predictions. We're going to start off with the kickoff matches. I really never watched the kickoff show, but still I'll give you my predictions for that. Originally, it was only 2 matches for the kickoff show, and the kickoff show is 2 hours this year. But they just literally added a third match to the kickoff show, so we'll start off with that. It's the Hardy Boyz and Jason Jordan versus The Miz and the Miztourage. I really don't care for this feud. I mean, I know the rumor was it was supposed to be The Miz defending the Intercontinental title against Jason Jordan, but we're getting a tag team match. Jason Jordan's probably going to get the win for his team. That'll lead into him and The Miz at either Clash of Champions or maybe fighting for the title the night after Raw. But unfortunately, I really don't care for this match or this feud. And like I said, the whole idea of Jason Jordan being Kurt Angle's illegitimate son, it had some potential, but I was just not feeling it from the time it was, you know, revealed. So I'm just going to pick the Hardy Boyz and Jason Jordan to win. Next, we have the Cruiserweight Championship rematch. Akira Tozawa, the newly crowned champion, defending against former champion Neville. I don't know if they're going to really take the belt off Tozawa. Neville was a great Cruiserweight champion for the 7 months he held that belt. But I don't know if they're going to put the belt back on Neville. And the thing is, like, I think it's cool every once in a while when they do title changes on Raw or SmackDown because that makes the product a little more interesting. But if the whole idea was to have Tozawa beat Neville for the title, why couldn't they just do it here at SummerSlam? You know, one problem I had with both shows this weekend or this past week was that they gave away matches for free that were going to be at SummerSlam. One of them was Tozawa versus Neville. You know, and the thing is, like, Tozawa was a great competitor. You know, I was impressed with his work in the Cruiserweight Classic. And, like, it's cool that he's the Cruiserweight champion, but I just don't care about the Cruiserweight Championship or the Cruiserweight division for that matter because of how they've been booked. So I'm just going to pick Tozawa to retain the Cruiserweight Championship. They could give the belt back to Neville, but I'm just going to go with Tozawa. I honestly think the Cruiserweight division should just be disbanded, and certain Cruiserweights should go to SmackDown and certain Cruiserweights should go to Raw. Because, like I said, I don't care for the division. I don't care for the title. You know, and it's a damn shame because I cared about the Cruiserweights all throughout the Cruiserweight Classic because of how they were properly portrayed and booked. And on Raw, they're just like I don't want to say the piss break match, but they're just another division on Raw or whatever. So I'll pick Akira Tozawa to retain the Cruiserweight Championship. Next, we have for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships, the New Day defending against the Usos. Now, I don't like the fact that this match got moved to the kickoff show because this is undoubtedly one of the hottest feuds on SmackDown Live. It's one of my favorite feuds, and it's one of the best things about SmackDown Live, this feud between the Usos and the New Day. And I hate the fact that they got bumped to the pre-show. Like, if any other match on the main show should have been bumped to the pre-show, it should be the next match I'm going to talk about. But, yeah, New Day versus Usos. This should be another really good to great match between these teams. I really wish, though, this match would have a stipulation to it. For a while now, have been pushing towards a Brooklyn street fight. I thought with the Usos, but beating up the New Day the way they did. New Day getting some revenge on the Usos. I felt like a street fight would have been the perfect stipulation to culminate this feud. Obviously now that it's on the kickoff show, I don't care that there's no stipulation, but I do think it should have stayed on the main show, and it should have been like a Brooklyn street fight. And you know what would have made it more interesting was if it was all 3 members of the New Day versus the Usos, a 3-on-2 handicap street fight. That would have been awesome. But this is probably the only match I'm going to tune in to on the kickoff show. I am looking forward to this match. The only match on the kickoff show I'm looking forward to the most. I'm picking New Day to retain. And then it's going to be interesting to see where both teams go from there, because Breezango's coming back soon. You have the Hype Bros. There's not much left in the Ascension in terms of what you can do with them, because they've just been booked horribly ever since coming up to the main roster. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with the New Day after this. I really hope that on SmackDown Live they don't drop the ball with the Usos. Keep them how they are. Keep them as heels. Just have them keep doing their thing. They'll be doing fine. But yeah, I think SmackDown's going to need to build some new teams, and it's going to be interesting to see where things go from there. So I'm picking New Day to retain, and we will see what happens. Maybe turn the Hype Bros heel and have them go after the New Day. I don't know if we're going to see this rumored Eric Rowan, Luke Harper reunion. Maybe they could challenge the New Day for the tag team championships. We'll see. But on both brands in general need new tag teams. They need a stronger tag team division. So, but for now, I'm picking New Day to retain the SmackDown tag team championships. Now, moving on to the main show. First up, we have the Big Show versus Big Cass, and Enzo Amore will be suspended above the ring in a shark cage. This is a match that I really think shouldn't be on the main show. It's I love Big Cass. I love Enzo. But this is a match I really don't care for. I think this should have been moved to the kickoff show, and the New Day versus the Usos should have been on the main show. I really don't care for this feud with Big Show and Big Cass. Like, I thought it could do some good things for Big Cass as a heel, but he hasn't been booked. Like, early on, the way he was kicking the crap out of Enzo, that's how you should have booked him. It's just this big, tall, ass-kicking machine. But I really haven't been feeling the way he has been booked lately as a heel, getting knocked out by Big Show and whatnot. So that's why I don't care for this feud. And I've said this before, this whole being suspended above the ring in a shark cage, it never works. Like, I don't know what Enzo's going to do to help Big Show try and beat Cass. Like, throw him a chain or something. But, I mean, Big Show is Big Show. Why would Big Show need a freaking chain to beat Cass when he's got a weapon of mass destruction in the form of his punch, So I'm just going to pick Big Cass to win this. This is, again, like, Big Cass turning heel had potential, but I wish they never split Enzo and Cass up. Maybe turning both of them heel, going after the Hardy Boys, would have been a much more logical turn. That could have probably done better things for them, but I'm just going to pick Big Cass to win. I really don't care for this feud. And hopefully they'll book Cass better as a heel. After that, we have Randy Orton versus Rusev. I would love for Rusev to win this match, but let's be real, they're going to give it to Randy Orton. I mean, why? I really had strong hopes for Rusev going to SmackDown, that they would rebuild him properly and everything. And what he did to Chad Gable on Tuesday on SmackDown was really cool. That was reminiscent of the old Rusev. But as much as I really want Rusev to win, they're going to give it to Randy Orton. You know it. So I don't know what happens to Rusev after this. Because if he doesn't win this match, he keeps losing. It's just like, why did you send him to SmackDown in the first place? Like, what are you doing with Rusev, I really hope Rusev wins this match, because he could really benefit from beating Randy Orton. I mean, think about it. Rusev has beaten John Cena before, and to beat Randy Orton would be huge, and that'd be a great way to give him momentum towards rebuilding him as a top, heel. But they're going to most likely give it to Randy Orton. Honestly, if Rusev was to beat Randy Orton, that would be great for Randy Orton in the sense of then you could finally turn Randy Orton heel. After losing 3 straight times to Jinder Mahal and losing to Rusev, all on pay-per-view, that could be enough incentive for Orton just to snap, turn heel, and just, go ballistic on whoever and whatever. But knowing WWE, they'll give it to Randy Orton. I'm hoping Rusev wins, because like I said, that could do great things for him, and that could do great things for Randy Orton in the sense of turning him heel, having him just snap, having his frustration and anger come out. But like I said, my prediction is Randy Orton to win. Next, we have Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt, but it's not just normal Finn Balor. It's the Demon Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt. Now, I am excited to see the Demon return because the last time we saw Finn Balor as the Demon was ironically at last year's SummerSlam when he was injured in the Universal Championship match against Seth Rollins. Now, this is another match that was given away on free TV. It was on Raw. And I just don't like when WWE does that, because when they give away free matches on pay-per-view matches for free on TV, you lose interest in the pay-per-view match because you've already seen the match. If Balor and Wyatt just had a brawl and then Wyatt dumped the blood, acidic liquid as they called it, on Finn Balor, then that would have been cool. Like, don't get me wrong, the blood spot was awesome because then that helped Finn just really, that really put some fuel to this feud. Because he said, Bray Wyatt's got his demons, well, I've got mine. So he's bringing out the demon for this match. And it's awesome. I'm excited to see the Demon Finn Balor battle Bray Wyatt. I just wish they hadn't given this match away on free TV. Like I said, they could have had a match, but it could have just been them fighting for like 5 minutes, and then Bray could have thrown the blood on Balor. And there you go. Like, that would have been cool. Because it doesn't give the match away. Because Bray Wyatt beat Finn Balor clean. So you know what's going to happen. Finn Balor is going to beat Bray Wyatt, Demon Finn Balor, I should say. And then I had the craziest idea that popped in my head, and I don't mean it in a positive sense. I'm thinking, oh my God, are they going to actually do this? I started thinking, Finn Balor will beat Bray Wyatt at SummerSlam. I don't think their feud's going to end there. I think they're going to have one more match at the No Mercy pay-per-view. And this is where I started thinking, oh my God, they might actually do this. Because Finn is the demon, and because we know how creepy Bray is and everything, and especially because this is on Raw, and I know they would do something like this, I have this feeling, call me crazy, but I have this feeling, and based on how this happened the last time, I'm not excited for it. They might do Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt in House of Horrors. I think that's what's going to happen. I think that will happen. Finn will beat Bray at SummerSlam, and then they're going to do House of Horrors at No Mercy. And the last time they did House of Horrors, it started off really well. I was really excited for it between Bray and Randy Orton because it had this very eerie feeling to it. But it just felt like a regular match. And then the fact that they had to go back into the arena to finish the match, the last time they did House of Horrors, it was a failure. And I really, really do not want to see Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt. I really don't want to see Finn wasted in a match like that. So, yeah, that might happen, guys. Call me crazy, but it might happen. But as far as this match goes, I'm picking the Demon Finn Balor to win. And then we'll see if they do the House of Horrors. We'll see. But I'm picking the Demon Finn Balor to win. I hope this is a better match than the one they had on Raw. I'm just excited for the spectacle of the Demon versus the Eater of Worlds, the new face of fear. I'm excited for this match, mainly because of their two personas. Next up, we have the SmackDown Women's Championship. Naomi defending against Natalya. This is another match that I'm very looking forward to because it's a very fresh matchup on pay-per-view. Other than a couple instances where they've mixed it up in a tag team match, Natalya and Naomi have never had a singles match to my knowledge, be it on pay-per-view or on TV. So I'm excited for it. And I like what Natalya has built herself around. She's one who believes in integrity, honesty, dignity as a champion. She feels Naomi does not honor, she does not embody any of those attributes that make a champion. Of course, Natalya, the purebred she is from the Hart Dynasty, the Hart Dungeon. I like it. I like how Natalya is, how she's built herself as this wrestler who believes in the morals and everything that make a strong champion. And she feels Naomi isn't that. But Naomi has proven she's a valiant champion, a fighting champion. She'll take on all comers. She freaking fought Lana 3 times in a row. So, yeah, Naomi is a proud champion. She's defined what a champion is. Natalya wants to show what a real champion is. So I like what's going on in there. Do I think there could have been a little more build for this, some better build? Yes, but I'm excited for what this match is going to produce. Now, there is one wild card in this match, of course, and that is Miss Money in the Bank Carmella. Will Carmella cash in during this match? Will she cash in after the match? I predict she will cash in, but I do not know if she's going to cash in during the match or after the match. Because the way I see it, what I think is going to happen is, like, see, this one's a little hard for me to predict because either way, I could see Carmella cashing in her Money in the Bank briefcase. But based on what happened to Baron Corbin on Tuesday, there's a chance Carmella may fail. And I'm concerned that, you know, if she fails, they wasted the briefcase on her. So, I mean, I really don't think they should drop the ball with her and the Money in the Bank briefcase. So, if I had to pick who I think is going to win, because whoever she cashes in on, that could be a really good feud. You know, Naomi's had her issues with Carmella for a while. Natalya recently started having issues with Carmella because she knows that Carmella could cash in that Money in the Bank briefcase at any time. And a Carmella and Natty feud would be really good. I think a feud for like that for Carmella would help her working with a veteran of Natty's caliber. So, like, okay, so here's how I'm going to predict it. I do predict Carmella's going to cash in the Money in the Bank briefcase during this match. Either during this match or after. So, if she cashes in after the match, I predict... See, this one's hard for me because either way, no matter who I pick, I see Carmella cashing in on them and possibly walking out the SmackDown Women's Champion. So, with that said, I'm going to pick, as far as a prediction to win the title match between Naomi and Natalya, I'm going to pick Natalya because I think they're going to give her this moment to shine as the SmackDown Women's Champion. But then I also predict Carmella's going to cash in and win the championship, and then we're going to get a Natalya-Carmella feud, which I think would do good things for Carmella because, like I said, she's going to be working with a veteran like Natty, so it could benefit from her. Either way, whoever Carmella cashes in on, I predict she will walk out the SmackDown Women's Champion, and whichever feud goes off from there, we're set for the races. So we see good things happening with the SmackDown Women's Division. So I predict Carmella. Overall, I predict Natalya will win, but I also predict Carmella's going to cash in, and Carmella will walk out the SmackDown Women's Champion. Now, for the Raw Women's Championship, we have Alexa Bliss defending her championship against Sasha Banks. This is the rematch from Great Balls of Fire. It was originally, of course, supposed to be Alexa Bliss versus Bayley, but then Bayley got injured. And I'm just going to say this right here, guys. I really hate the fact that Bayley got hurt, but I think her getting injured and being taken off of SummerSlam is a blessing in disguise because now WWE can rebuild Bayley. They can think about how they can rebuild her and rebuild her properly, of course. Because I did not like any of the booking she got when she was on the main roster. Like when she debuted, she did fine, but then after that, she just got really horrible booking, and how she was booked as Raw Women's Champion did not help her one bit. So, moving on to this match, I predict that Sasha Banks will walk out the Raw Women's Champion. I remember asking my friend AHS Rules, does he think a stipulation should have been added to this match? He personally felt no, because he believes Sasha will also win, and then he believes when they do the rematch at No Mercy, that's where you can do the stipulation, you know, a blow-off match or whatever. But I think because of what happened the last time, they should have added like a Falls Count Anywhere, or maybe a no disqualification, no count-out stipulation, and then do the rubber match at No Mercy, and it could have been Falls Count Anywhere, Lumberjill, whatever. That's just me. But I do predict Alexa Bliss will drop the title to Sasha Banks. Sasha can have a strong run as Women's Champion, and a much longer run, because the 3 times that Sasha Banks won the Raw Women's Championship last year, she lost it within a month. I hated that. This time, they better give her at least 2 to 3 months as a champion. And then eventually, you turn Sasha heel, maybe have it revealed that I don't know, because Bayley got hurt in a match. It wasn't like she got sabotaged or anything. But yeah, eventually turn Sasha heel, have her feud with Bayley, and have them go to WrestleMania 34. Perfect match for the Women's Championship at WrestleMania 34. But for this match, I'm predicting Sasha Banks walks out the new Raw Women's Champion. For the Raw Tag Team Championships, we have Cesaro and Sheamus defending against Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins. Now, this is one of the matches that I'm not for, only because I really would have preferred, like, I understand the Revival. I understand Scott Dawson got hurt. So it was probably going to be Cesaro and Sheamus versus the Revival at SummerSlam. I wish it was that. The reason I don't prefer this pairing of Dean and Seth is because I really wanted to see them duke it out at SummerSlam in a match where Ambrose is the heel and Rollins is the face. Because if that would have happened, this would have been a rematch 3 years in the making, because the last time they faced off at SummerSlam was in the Lumberjack match. But as far as this match is concerned, I understand why they're doing this. This is something fresh. Ambrose and Rollins haven't really teamed up in a while since the Shield split. So, like, I'm not for this match, but I'm interested in seeing what happens with the two, because I remember Daniel Gaiza was telling me that he read something where you could have Rollins and Ambrose be the tag team champions for a few months. Then in January, you start to see a little dissension between them. And then eventually when they drop the tag team championships, you can have Ambrose turn heel and betray Rollins, and then you can have them do a big match at WrestleMania, which honestly I would be for. I always felt they could fight forever, and I felt like a Dean Ambrose Seth Rollins match at WrestleMania would be huge. So I predict Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins will win the Raw Tag Team Championships, and then hopefully they'll go with that storyline where they start off well as champions. They defend their titles against all comers, and then towards the end of the year you start to see maybe some dissension, and then that dissension starts to grow towards the start of in the beginning of the new year, and then eventually they lose the titles, and Ambrose gets to that point where he's just frustrated, he's fed up, he can't take it with Seth anymore, and he betrays him, and then you go to war. I do like the segment they did where Rollins gave Ambrose a chair and just stood there with his hands out and just said, "Hit me, hit me. Get it over with." That was a really good segment. I'm going to give Raw that. But, I'm not for this match, but I'm going to give Ambrose and Rollins the benefit of the doubt. I will pick them to win the titles, and hopefully they'll have a strong run as tag team champions, and then hopefully it'll lead to them fighting at WrestleMania with Ambrose as the heel and Rollins as the face. Speaking of the face, next up we have the face that runs the place, AJ Styles, defending his United States Championship against Kevin Owens. And we have as special guest referee Shane McMahon. I'm excited for this match because it's AJ Styles and Kevin Owens. I really hope that they go out there and they just give us one hell of a match, because their match at Backlash was great. Their match at Battleground I thought was very good for the most part. I know a lot of people did not like it, but I personally thought it was a very good match. They had a very good match on SmackDown recently, that the one where there was the issue with the referee, where Owens clearly had his shoulders up, but the referee failed to see that. But I really hope they go all out in this rematch, especially with Shane McMahon as a special guest referee. And adding Shane as the guest referee is very interesting because he does have history with AJ Styles. They had their feud earlier this year going into WrestleMania, and now he's got some beef with Kevin Owens. And if you go back and think about it, he hasn't gotten along with Kevin Owens since last year when Shane was running Raw for a little while and Kevin Owens was, undermining his authority and whatnot. So it's going to make for a very intriguing matchup. Now, I really don't see WWE putting the title back on Kevin Owens, because I think what's going to happen is Shane McMahon is going to count the 1, 2, 3. There might be some kind of screwy finish, but Kevin Owens is going to be just livid, and he's going to go after Shane McMahon. And we could possibly see them fighting at Hell in a Cell or Survivor Series. Because think about it. The other thing I'm thinking about is that Kevin Owens has won the United States Championship, I believe, 3 times this year. He beat Jericho, of course, at Mania. He dropped it to Jericho at Payback, then won it like 2 nights later on SmackDown. And then he dropped the title to AJ Styles at Madison Square Garden and then won it back at Battleground. So I don't know if they're really going to make Kevin Owens a 4-time United States champion in that quick of a time span. So I'm predicting AJ Styles will retain the championship. Some screwed finish will probably happen where Shane doesn't see like Owens' foot under the rope or something. And then Owens is going to go ballistic and he's going to go after Shane. And we're going to get a Kevin Owens-Shane McMahon feud for later on this year. And honestly, guys, I just want to say one thing. I'm really sick and tired of, people having problems with Shane McMahon's authority that lead into matches like this. They don't agree with certain things Shane McMahon does, this and that. And then it leads to them having a match with Shane at at whatever pay-per-view is coming up. You know, that storyline's running its course a little bit. So that's why, you know, I hope we get some really good build, like something different for our potential Kevin Owens Shane McMahon feud. It's gonna be an interesting match. I'm very excited for it. I hope it's the best match these guys have had this year. But this is most likely going to be the final chapter between AJ and Kevin Owens, because I agree. I even think they need to stay away from each other for a little while. AJ needs to focus on fighting some new contenders. Owens, if they're going to do this feud with him and Shane, I'm looking forward to seeing if they bring out that killer instinct of Kevin Owens, the one who's just manhandling people during his run in NXT. It's going to be interesting to see how things play out. But I picked AJ Styles to retain the United States Championship. Some screwy finish will probably happen, and then we'll start the feud with Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon. So we got 3 more matches left, guys, to predict. First up, we have John Cena versus Baron Corbin. This match really took an interesting turn Tuesday night when Corbin failed to cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase on Jinder Mahal. He was really pissed off because he got distracted by John Cena, and that allowed Jinder Mahal to roll, Baron Corbin up to retain the championship. I was shocked, and I wasn't happy with that because I thought Baron Corbin was going to do – I thought, him as Money in the Bank, when he cashed in, I seriously thought he was going to cash in at SummerSlam on whoever the WWE champion was, and he was going to win the championship. And that didn't happen. And when I saw that, I was like, wow, like they really wasted the briefcase on Baron Corbin. Now, maybe over on SmackDown, they don't feel like he is ready to be champion yet. But still, you could have left the championship, you could have left the Money in the Bank briefcase on him, and then he could have cashed in a few months later and won the championship when they felt he was better prepared to be champion. I just don't like the fact that he lost it the way he did, What should have happened was Cena should have gotten back in the ring, fought Corbin when the bell never rung, so the match wasn't official and the cash-in wasn't official, and then that could add a little more fuel to their fire for their match. But I'm going to give – there's one benefit I'm going to give SmackDown Live that I'm going to give this whole situation, and it's this. Baron Corbin was pissed at the end of SmackDown Live. He now has enough incentive to go after John Cena and name John Cena. I personally don't see any reason why John Cena should beat Baron Corbin at SummerSlam. John Cena is going to be going to Raw right after SummerSlam. There's no reason why Cena should even beat Baron Corbin if he's going to go. The best send-off Baron Corbin can give him is a serious beatdown. I would love for this to happen. I read this a few times on Twitter. I would love for this to happen. I would love for Baron Corbin to just kick the crap out of John Cena for like 5-7 minutes. Just squash John Cena, maim him, beat the shit out of him for costing him his Money in the Bank briefcase, for costing him the WWE Championship, and then send him packing to Raw with the end of days. That would be awesome. If Baron Corbin loses to John Cena, then I'm very concerned for his career with WWE, because they've built him up really well on SmackDown Live. Yeah, he's lost some momentum here and there, but he was really tearing it up when he first got to SmackDown Live in the brand split, And I would hate for WWE to really waste an opportunity on him by having him lose to John Cena. So I predict Baron Corbin will beat John Cena, and he has to really, the way this match has to play out is like it played out 3 years ago, where John Cena just got demolished and dominated by Brock Lesnar. Baron Corbin needs to beat the shit out of John Cena, maim him, destroy him, and then send him packing to Raw with an end of days or even 2 end of days for the 1, 2, 3, and earn one of, or if not the biggest win of his career, and then go from there. So I'm really hoping Baron Corbin beats John Cena, and I really hope they go with that route. That Corbin just manhandles him from beginning to end. Cena gets no offense in, no Super Cena. Corbin just destroys him and beats him with the end of days and sends him packing to Monday Night Raw. Because if they don't, then I'm really concerned John Cena, or not John Cena, I'm really concerned Baron Corbin's going to fall. He's going to fail on SmackDown, and his career would be in serious jeopardy. So my prediction is Baron Corbin to win and to beat John Cena. And finally, guys, we have the 2 big title matches, the 2 big world title matches. First up, for the WWE Championship, we have Jinder Mahal defending against Shinsuke Nakamura. And for a WWE title match, guys, this has really had some of the weakest build I've ever seen for any world title match. You know, Jinder Mahal came out, 2 nights after Battleground. He demanded a challenger for SummerSlam. John Cena came out. We all thought it was going to be Cena versus Mahal at SummerSlam. Then Daniel Bryan made the match, Cena versus Nakamura, with the winner facing Mahal at SummerSlam. Nakamura shockingly and surprisingly beat Cena clean, and the match was set for Mahal versus Nakamura. Now, there hasn't really been build to this match. You know, they had a little confrontation on SmackDown, but that's pretty much it. You know, I feel like if it was Cena versus Mahal, there would have been more build. But, you know, I love that Nakamura's in the main event picture. He's in the main event scene. He's challenging for the WWE Championship, but there could have been better build to this match. I don't know if it's because they don't like – I don't know if it's because of lack of English Nakamura speaks or whatever. But, yeah, for a WWE Championship match, this should have had better build, straight up. Now, I find it very interesting and unique that it's a Canadian who is also of Punjab descent fighting a legit Japanese striker for the WWE Championship. And if Nakamura wins, he will be the first ever Japanese WWE Champion. Yokozuna, his character was Japanese, but in real life, Yokozuna was he's Samoan. He's part of the Anoa'i family, the Samoan dynasty. So if Nakamura wins, he's going to be the first ever Japanese WWE champion, and that is my prediction. While Jinder Mahal had a good, solid run as WWE champion, I feel like the Nakamura dynasty is about to rise, and he's going to ultimately conquer the modern-day Maharaja. So I predict Shinsuke Nakamura will win the WWE championship. I hope he gets better. I hope they push and build him well as a champion, because I know for a while people didn't like the fact that Nakamura wasn't in the WWE Championship picture, that they weren't doing much with him. They weren't booking him properly. You know, he was in the Money in the Bank. Ladder matches, I think, was great. He feuded with Baron Corbin. So it was little things ultimately building up to this. So I predict Nakamura will win the championship. And like I said, had Baron Corbin not lost his Money in the Bank briefcase, I predicted he would have cashed in on Nakamura and won the WWE Championship. But I predict Nakamura will win the title, and I really hope that because they're in Brooklyn, and this is Nakamura's first WWE Championship match, I really hope they get Lee England Jr., the famed violinist, to play Nakamura's theme as he makes his entrance. That would be so freaking epic if Nakamura had his music played by Lee England Jr. again, just like Lee did at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn, back to Brooklyn last year. But prediction-wise, I predict Shinsuke Nakamura will win the WWE Championship. Jinder Mahal, I liked him as champion for what he did. It was a good, solid run. It was not a great run, but now that it's time for Nakamura to take that title, and hopefully they'll book and push Nakamura better as a champion, and they'll just push and book him better. I don't feel like he's gotten bad booking, but I don't like how they refer to him as the artist known as Shinsuke Nakamura. He is the king of strong style. They refer to him as a rock star. Yes, he is a rock star because of his persona and everything, but he never calls himself a rock star. So you can refer to him as that, but like don't constantly push it on him. You know what I'm saying? So I'm picking Nakamura to win, and hopefully this will lead to bigger and better things for him. But I do not want to see them drop the ball with Jinder. Build him as a strong mid-card star after that, but do not drop the ball with him once he drops the WWE Championship. That's my main concern. And to wrap this prediction video up, guys, we have our main event, the Fatal 4-Way match for the WWE Universal Championship. Brock Lesnar defending his title against Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman, and Samoa Joe. This is the match I'm most excited for, and I got to give it to Raw Creative Team for how they booked this match. This is the culmination of the two biggest and best feuds on the Raw brand right now. Brock versus Joe and Roman versus Strowman. So what better way to culminate these feuds than by bringing them all together for what's going to be a monstrous Fatal 4-Way match. This is just going to be one hell of a fight. It's going to be one hell of a war. And, of course, there is that added stipulation that if Brock Lesnar loses, he will leave WWE for good. Heyman probably said that just to spice things up with the match, but I personally feel Brock's not going to leave. If he loses, he will not leave. I mean, Brock is still a big attraction for WWE, so I don't think he's going to leave for good. He'll probably leave and then come back, of course, but he's not going to leave for good. With that said, guys, I'm picking – I really want to see either Braun Strowman or Samoa Joe win the championship. But my prediction is I think Samoa Joe will win it. I think Joe will win the championship. He can feud with Reigns and Strowman and Cena for the remainder of the year with the Universal title on the line. And then if they want to bring Brock back or whenever Brock returns, they can always do a Samoa Joe Brock Lesnar rematch. You know, the one thing I would have loved to have seen was this be a Universal Championship Fatal 4-Way elimination match. And Brock could have been eliminated like 5 minutes in. And then you're guaranteed a new Universal Champion. And then you could have had Joe just eliminate the other two guys. Do something shocking and surprising. Like at this one ECW pay-per-view, it was shortly before Taz came to WWF. He was the champion against Masato Tanaka and Mike Awesome. It was an elimination match. And 5 minutes in, Taz got pinned. And everybody was shocked because Taz was a machine up to that point, and he had never been – no one ever came close to beating him. And when it happened at that event, it was so shocking. So if this was a Fatal 4-Way elimination match, that would have been the perfect way to do something really shocking in the form of Brock being eliminated first, like 5 minutes into the match, and then, you know, the other guys fighting until there's a new champion crown. But with that said, I predict Samoa Joe will win the Universal Championship. And then, like I said, when Brock returns in, like, January, he can get a rematch with Samoa Joe because they have unfinished business from Great Balls of Fire. And in the meantime, you know, Joe can feud with Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman, John Cena, Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose. You know, there are plenty of feuds for Joe for the remainder of the year when he wins the championship. I predict he will win the championship. I mean, because like I said, I don't want to see Roman Reigns as champion. I don't think Brock Lesnar is walking out champion. I would love to see Strowman as champion, but I think WWE is going to wait until next year to give him the championship. So with that said, guys, I predict Samoa Joe will walk out the WWE Universal Champion. So to recap my predictions, guys, I have for the kickoff show, the Hardy Boyz and Jason Jordan winning, Akira Tozawa retaining the Cruiserweight Championship, the New Day retaining the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Then moving on to the main show, I have Big Cass winning. I also have Randy Orton winning, the Demon Finn Bálor winning, Natalya winning the SmackDown Women's Championship with Carmella cashing in and then walking out SmackDown Women's Champion. Sasha Banks to win the Raw Women's Championship. Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins to win the Raw Tag Team Championships. AJ Styles to retain the United States Championship, Baron Corbin to beat John Cena, Shinsuke Nakamura to walk out WWE Champion, and Samoa Joe to walk out Universal Champion. So that will do it, guys, for my SummerSlam predictions video. As always, thank you for watching and listening. Leave your comments down below. Tell me which match you're most looking forward to. Tell me, you know, share your predictions with me. I'm interested in seeing how things play out Sunday. You know, I hate the fact that Sami Zayn is not on this card at all, nor is Ty Dillinger. Neither of those guys have direction. That is a freaking shame. Why not just pair them up, build them as a strong tag team, and they can challenge the New Day for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships in the future? Or the Usos, should the Usos win those titles back. You know, there's no Mike Kanellis on this show, which he'll probably go to NXT because he does need to work on his character with Maria. I'm interested in seeing if John Jones, the UFC Light Heavyweight Champion, shows up to SummerSlam because he called out Brock Lesnar for a fight. And I want to see Brock and John Jones mix it up in the octagon one of these days. So we'll see if John Jones, you know, comes to SmackDown or comes to SummerSlam, excuse me, and mix. I don't know if he's going to get involved, if he's going to get physical with Brock. I don't know what's going to happen, but, like, I want to see what goes down if John Jones shows up at SummerSlam. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see if maybe Asuka makes an appearance at SummerSlam because, as you guys know, I predicted she would drop the title to Ember Moon the night before at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3. You never know what can happen. I feel like with SummerSlam weekend being in Brooklyn, you never know what can happen or who's going to show up. So I'm excited for both shows because of the because of certain unpredictability. But with this card, I mean, I always say if these cards, these 4-hour shows, if these matches get enough time and the proper booking and everything, no screwy finishes, then this could be a really good to great show and maybe one of the better SummerSlams since 2013. So, like I said, guys, that'll do it for this prediction video. Thank you for watching and listening. Everybody enjoy your SummerSlam weekend. Enjoy NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3. Enjoy SummerSlam. And I will catch you guys next week for my reviews of those shows. Everybody have a good day. This is Rob One Kenobi signing off. Peace.